Joining me now, former spokesperson for President George W. Bush, Mercedes Schlapp, and Washington Times columnist Charlie Hurt. Thank you both for being here. Mercedes, let's start with Secretary of State, suddenly Rex Tillerson from ExxonMobil, John Huntsman, Mitt Romney's arch enemy amongst the Mormon Illuminati or whomever they are. What's going on here?
Well, it's so suspenseful, Lou. Come on. I think you know.
Well, I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to comprehend, to understand at least dimly.
You know, I think for Donald Trump, he likes to bring talented people to the table. It's thinking outside of the box. I think that's one of the reasons why you saw.
Why did it take so long to find these people then? I mean, they should have been in the first tier, right?
You know, I think for the most part, it's an interesting concept to bring in a businessman into that role in terms of in the State Department. However, I would like personally to see a John Bolton, someone who we know has solid foreign policy experience, who understands the state bureaucracy better than most, and could really advise the president in an area where it's not necessarily the area where he has the most expertise on. So sure. I like all these different interviews that he's having. I'm glad he's taking the time to
We're
really
delighted. We're delighted, Mercedes. We want him to take his time. We want him to, but we still would like them to move ahead here. You know, maybe have some sense of order. I mean, is this a staff problem that we're seeing present itself here, Charlie? Why aren't they moving candidates to him faster?
Well, I think that there are what we're seeing are some internal debates, certainly, especially over this State Department picks, for Secretary of State. But when you look at the picks that he's already announced, Jim Mattis, Ben Carson, Betsy DeVos. I mean, these are Jeff Sessions.
They're great nominees.
These are magnificent picks, and they're all outside the box. Much like the thought of putting a business CEO in at the State Department. They're outside of the box. You really get the sense for the first time that this is a guy who is interested in reinventing the federal government. And man, the federal government needs to be reinvented.
No kidding, and that is what the election was all about for many of us, making a sharp turn in the direction of this country. Paul Ryan today, Mercedes, and Kevin McCarthy. I'm sorry?
No, I was going to say, where are you going with Speaker Ryan? Come on.
Speaker Ryan, come on, as you say, and Kevin McCarthy saying they're going to block part of the president-elect's populist program because it doesn't align with their values. I mean, just who the hell do these people think they are?
Let's just start by the fact that Speaker Ryan is speaking with the
I've already started, Mercedes. I've already started, so you can begin anew.
All I know is that what we're seeing is that Speaker Ryan and Trump are working closely together.
Obviously, no, they're not. Wait, Mercedes, come on. There's one thing my audience will not tolerate. There's one thing my audience will not tolerate, okay? They really won't. And that is being, taken for fools. They're not working together. Kevin McCarthy is sitting there saying straight out. Congressman Bill Flores, excuse me, Mercedes, please let me finish. Congressman Bill Flores is saying straightforwardly that they're going to be in opposition to the president-elect's populist agenda. Please.
There are elements that you will find that they are not going to agree on. We know this. There's obviously the very free market conservative Republicans who don't want to move forward, let's say, on the issues of tariffs.
Free market Republicans?
That's something.
Is that a conservative? What is a free market Republican?
That's absolutely in terms of
not a Democrat?
Not pushing forward tariffs. I mean, that's one
Charlie,
of the things.
Get in here because we're going to be out of time before she finishes couching this.
No.
Well, I'll tell you,
Charlie,
Lou,
be careful what you say.
I love I don't mind the infighting at all. I think it's terrific. I think it's honest, open debate. And you know what? Donald Trump will be able to make his arguments, and they will be able to make their arguments. And of course, if these were the olden days, all the Republicans would be in lockstep, or all the Democrats would be in lockstep, and bad things happen when that happens. This open infighting within the family is terrific, and I think that and I have a lot of faith that Donald Trump will win some of these arguments. Paul Ryan and Kevin McCarthy will win some of the other arguments, and the American people will come out winning.
Exactly. It's about negotiating the deal. That's absolutely right, and that's where Donald Trump...
The art of the deal.
That's right.
The art of the deal. But I think we have to be clear about who the parties to the deal are. In the case of McCarthy and Ryan, we're talking about the Chamber of Commerce and the Business Roundtable. In the case of Donald Trump, we're talking about more than 50 million people who voted for him.
And if they're carrying water for the Chamber of Commerce instead of their constituents, Donald Trump will call them out on that, and they will stop doing it. And I think that that's a terrific thing. That's a great thing for the American people.
I think we have a very healthy checks and balance system with the Republicans in power in the Senate and in the House, and I think it's going to be a you're going to see so many pieces of legislation going through that will benefit the American people. It will be part of Donald Trump pushing forward his populist messages and agenda, and at the same time, they're going to look for, the Congress is going to look for ensuring that they don't push forward these tariffs that Donald Trump is pushing for.
Okay. Mercedes, we're in agreement. Charlie, we're in agreement as always,
good,
and we're having
God.
fun. And you know what else? Open argument, discussion,
That's right.
Sunlight is flowing, and I'm so happy.
Sunlight.
And my audience appreciates it. Thanks so much, both of you. We appreciate it.